Well, the How to Train Your Dragon movie series is something that a lot of people have grown up watching and has a great recall value. Well, we've had a lot of live action adaptations of famous animated movies. We've had The Jungle Book, we've had The Lion King, and most recently Lilo and Stitch. And we also now have How to Train Your Dragon's live adaptation that's going to be releasing very soon. It's being directed by Dean DeBlois, who's of course directed the first 3 animated movies as well. How to Train Your Dragon movie series has 3 parts. How to Train Your Dragon that released in 2010, How to Train Your Dragon 2 that released in 2014, and How to Train Your Dragon The Hidden World that released in 2019. Well, like I said, it's time to talk about some of my favorite moments from this wonderful trilogy. First favorite moment is when Hiccup touches Toothless in How to Train Your Dragon 1, and let me tell you why. Well, the moment Hiccup earns the trust of Toothless, silent, tender, and beautifully scored, it's where their bond truly begins. Well, this is a really hard-hitting moment from the second part, How to Train Your Dragon 2, and it's actually the death of Stoic's character and the funeral scene of his character. Let me tell you why. Tragic turning point, Stoic's death is heartbreaking, and his Viking funeral is one of the most emotional scenes of the movie series. Well, my third favorite scene is when Hiccup says goodbye to Toothless in How to Train Your Dragon The Hidden World, and let me tell you why. Well, it's a tearful farewell as dragons leave for their safety. Their final reunion years later is bittersweet and perfect. First fun fact, Toothless was actually inspired by cats and dogs. Can you believe it? Let me tell you why. Well, the animators based the behavior of Toothless on cats, dogs, and horses, making him more relatable and emotionally expressive. His face, especially his eyes and head tilts, mimic a Black Panther and a domestic cat. Well, Jay Baruchel, who played the role of Hiccup, actually grew with the character. Of course, we've had 9 years between the first movie and the third movie, How to Train Your Dragon and How to Train Your Dragon The Hidden World. His voice actually grew, which actually gave it a coming-of-age character arc, which is really interesting. And the third fun fact is that Dean DeBlois has actually directed all the 3 movies and has also directed the live adaptation, which is why this movie has such a consistent tone. Well, the fourth fun fact is that all the 3 movies, How to Train Your Dragon, How to Train Your Dragon 2, and How to Train Your Dragon The Hidden World, have been nominated for Academy Awards for Best Animated Feature Film. And the second part, How to Train Your Dragon 2, actually won the Golden Globes for Best Animated Feature Film as well, which is why these movies are so wonderful. They've got all the critical acclaim and box office appreciation. And well, I'm really excited for How to Train Your Dragon, the live adaptation. Well, we're not done with the episode yet. It's time for, if you like this, what can you watch? And I would suggest you watch my favorite animated movie, actually one of my favorite movies, The Incredibles, directed by Brad Bird, and let me tell you why. The Incredibles follows a family of undercover superheroes forced to live normal lives after superpowers are banned. When Father Bob Parr, Mr. Incredible, secretly returns to hero work, he's lured into a trap by the villain Syndrome, his wife Helen, Elastigirl, and their kids, Violet, Dash, and Jack. Join forces to rescue him and stop Syndrome's evil plan. Together, they rediscover the power of family and embrace their superhero identities. That brings us to the end of today's episode of Binge Watch. If you're liking what we're doing, please like this video, comment down your favorite moments from the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, the How to Train Your Dragon movie series, and how excited are you for How to Train Your Dragon, the live adaptation that has been directed by Dean DeBlois. And share this with family and friends, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
94.3 Radio 1.